Hey, so one of the things I found myself having this week was a conversations this past week were conversations around small business and small business challenge, particularly around community branded small businesses or community focused social service ventures. So, for instance, one of the things that I was talking about with a colleague of mine was. Kind of how there's a new line that just came out that's called HBCU Kids, Historic Black College Kids, and it's a T-shirt line and apparel line for kids. And I began talking with a colleague of mine who has a brand over a similar brand in Crown Heights, and a friend of mine who's in kids apparel. And one of the things I came up with was that one thing that I do realize now, even with Camp Bed-Stuy, who's faced challenges this particular summer, really around the things that small businesses face, especially in years 1 or 2 or 3, early stage. And there's just really no vehicles, and there's no organization or systems or programs in place that are attractive and that are effective to service the small business entrepreneur who is worthy of support. For instance, at one point we had Project Enterprise, who we know that for a long time Arbor Rice ran, who's now at Urban League. And Project Enterprise was an organization that provided micro business loans through and training for small businesses who were, you know, on the right path and that were worth the investment and support. Organizations like those have sort of um, been trickling away, disseminating, and they've been disappearing in terms of their work and their presence in community. We know we have Workshop and Business Opportunity, which is also another great vehicle, which also does, trains people on business planning. But the reality is there's really no local direct access or on city level, I believe, that really gives. We talk about SBS, and there are sort of all these wonderful programs and trainings, and you can read all this fabulous stuff on the website. Who gets it? I don't know. Who gets the support? I don't know. Who gets the loans? I don't know. Honestly, some of the programs are more rigorous and difficult than going to a bank to actually get that. Frankly, I think most people should just go to social venture capitalists, work their way up those ladders, get their way into those rooms, and that's the best place to put their energy, because at least someone is listening to their idea, and they're not only just throwing money at you to get past the problem, but they're throwing money at you to really increase the capacity of your business so that you will be successful. They also really provide you with the support as the individual. There's an interesting model which I love, which is under Echo Green, which is sort of one of the black male partnerships. They have a whole internship, not internship, but fellowship, in which provides social entrepreneurs with $90,000 to really, create a platform. But it really supports, they provide medical insurance, they support the actual entrepreneur. The challenge is oftentimes is entrepreneurs have to go between paying their rent and focusing on their dream. And to ones who are fortunate to have that balance are usually experienced, and or without that system are usually experienced, and have several things going on. They have more than one thing that they're making money from or trying to make money from in terms of even a social ventures concept. So the reality is a perfect example. Bed-Stuy. We had Bread-Stuy. You remember Bread-Stuy? Bread-Stuy was a fabulous brand. That was a sick brand. It is. I mean, I am so disappointed in how our leadership allowed Bed-Stuy to go down. Bread-Stuy to go down. I mean, come on. I mean, not go down, but they moved way far out, and it's not what the brand is not what the brand was created for. It's just not living its true purpose. And their issues were really minor if you look at the challenges that businesses face. Come on, talk about needing, $500,000 for payroll. Now you have some real issues. You have to have some really good friends, right? And nonprofits oftentimes face that. A little tax challenge. I'm surprised that we allow our brands to go down. I mean, we have sick brands like Bed-Stuy Fly. We have Camp Bed-Stuy, Bread-Stuy. I mean, it has to be some type of system or program, a real program, not just like throw money into a CDC and we don't know where it goes. And put it through some department with some ridiculous regulations and programs where people have to sit down, people who have community establishments, such as, those types of brands that I mentioned, to sit down in a classroom for 100 hours a week. And there's not even 100 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, and run a business. That's not effective. I think we need to begin to, as we're going into the future, the new year, begin to think about how do we create an economy, a true system economy. I mean, it's, small businesses are struggling all up and down Fulton Street, all up and down Tompkins. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then we complain about when the many franchise brands come in, or the powers that be, the conversation is always about the Peaches conglomerate. But the Peaches conglomerate had to do it that way because guess why? They're not going to get, if you did a small business model where, kind of like open shop and chop and not build the brand and had other things to it and other brands to it, you're not going to be successful, generally speaking, because you will face shortfalls and challenges. For the average entrepreneur, you got to have some type of community level support. And I mean, I don't need friends. I mean, we need resources. Okay, so that's something that I think that we need to expand the conversation on. I won't keep you any longer. It's happy Labor Day. But it was just a thought. I mean, so many of my small business friends are launching different brands throughout Brooklyn. And the reason why they can't kickstart their ideas is because there's no real support or capacity building assistance programs for small businesses. I charge our elected officials with the idea to look at how we create an access-based fund or some type of thing where it's based upon, credibility and decision, like not the things that small business struggle with or the things that they don't have necessary access to within their first 2 or 3 years of opening a small business. I also charge the commissioner as we go into 1 year. I mean, it's just kind of like create real shit. I mean, I've been through Fast Track with SBS. Fast Track was great. It's great. They have a great curriculum. They work with CUNY, all this yada, yada, yada. Where is the money? And if you look at the money that's being spent on the programming and the coursework, I mean, for a city to operate any type of program costs 3 times as much as it does a non-profit. Because they're going to write in every architect, they're going to write in every, paper stapler, every light that's ran through that damn office on that invoice, and they're going to charge it down to the city against that contract or that program, that budget. And so the reality is, I mean, oftentimes some programs do work, but honestly, we need to look at how we're using those dollars and what is really needed for small businesses to succeed. I mean, you talk about MWBEs, you talk about how many people have gone through that damn training and still don't got the certification, including myself, for different projects. I mean, the MWBE program, child, let me tell you, they can wrap that up and just give it to black people with a birth certificate, okay? The process is so daunting, and the support system, I mean, I just really want to see, if you look at the numbers, oh my God, the disparity is, like, look at the numbers of how many people sit down in those courses. Really? I'm not talking about the fudge numbers. I'm talking about the real numbers. And look at how many people have the certification or getting the certification in the city. I'm going to leave that down for Bertha Lewis or somebody else to talk about, okay? Anyway, don't forget to visit campbedsty.org, campcrownheights.org, and afterschoolbedsty.org. And Bed-Stuy Parents, which is the application which I'm pitching to a small business competition because I need some coins, real coins, and I need them now. Anyway, bye-bye.